16 things that can get you into trouble in foreign countries. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Do you agree with this well-known legal principle? Most definitely, yes, but only if it does not refer to you, right? We all know what's acceptable and what's banned in our home country, even though some states have pretty weird laws. But what if we decide to travel the world? Jail is the last place you want to find yourself while sightseeing in Europe or Asia. Do you agree? Then click the like button. However, some of the things you do every day may be forbidden in other countries, so it's important to study the rules and culture of the country you are going to beforehand. We made a list of common things that may land you in jail in some countries. Number 16. Chewing gum. The streets in Singapore are amazingly clean, and the number of laws concerning this point helps a lot. They have huge fines for littering, spitting, and smoking in public areas. And the selling of chewing gum in the country is banned. You can get a fine for trying to import it. Only certain chewing gums, which are allowed for medical purposes, can be found in pharmacies. Number 15. Wearing improper clothes. If you are planning a trip to the Middle East and are packing your best summer clothes not to get lost among the sheiks, you might want to reconsider your choices. In many Muslim countries, to not attract unwanted attention in public places, you should dress modestly, especially if you are a girl. Clothes should cover the tops of the arms and legs. They should be loose, and underwear should not be visible. Iran and Saudi Arabia demand that women fully cover their arms and legs and wear a headscarf. In Iran, if you don't follow the dress code, the maximum penalty will be a request to make it correct. But in Saudi Arabia, you may end up in prison. Number 14. Putting on the heels. Okay, the Muslim dress code probably makes sense, but this one? No high heels in certain places in Greece? What if your heels are an essential part of you? Because they make you look taller and slimmer, you know? Well, you can't explain that to Greek gods of archaeology and law. High heels damage the stone the priceless sites are made of. The Odeon in Athens is the one that suffered most. By the way, you can't start a picnic there either. Bringing food and drinks to the archaeological sites is also banned. Number 13. Stopping on the Autobahn. Germany is famous for the punctuality of its people, the beauty of its castles and nature, the diversity of its beer. Yeah, we should have put that one first. And the quality of its roads. Have you ever wondered what makes its famous highway system called the Autobahn so quick and safe? A spell cast by Angela Merkel? No. Some pretty rigorous rules. You are not allowed to run out of gas on the Autobahn in Germany. You can't stop there for any other reason either. Walking there is also strictly prohibited for your safety. All of these things will cost you a fine for endangering yourself and others. Nein, bitte! Number 12. Flushing the toilet after 10 p.m. Imagine you are visiting your friends in Switzerland. You had a fancy fondue for dinner and some good wine. It's time to go to bed, and you decide to do one very natural thing before you do so. You're in the bathroom, and suddenly you hear your Swiss hosts knocking on the door. Stop! What the what? It turns out men are not allowed to urinate in their normal standing position after 10 p.m. Ladies should not get too excited either. You can't flush the chain at night. Why? To avoid noise pollution, not to interrupt your neighbor's sleep. Well, at least they have delicious chocolate there in Switzerland. Number 11. Singing after sunset. In Hawaii, life is so good and the views are so breathtaking, you might want to sing like a bird day and night. Word to the wise? Don't do it. There is a law which bans singing loudly after sunset in Honolulu. Sorry, but you can say goodbye to your dreams of a late-night karaoke party by the pool. Or you could try whispering, "I will survive." Something is telling us it won't sound as good, though. Number 10. Cutting down a cactus. Some native plants in Arizona, USA, are protected under state law. If you cut them down, it's considered theft and can send you to prison for a few years. Cactus theft is pretty high, and it takes dozens of years for them to grow, so these measures are necessary to protect native flora from being destroyed. If you still want to bring home something as a souvenir from your trip to the Grand Canyon State, try buying fridge magnets. You can find some featuring cacti. Number 9. Swearing. Some things in Australia might make you quite emotional. Imagine you are walking around and see a giant spider. The first thing that comes to your mind is probably some 4-letter word, and it's not love. Click like if you agree. Well, we have news for you. You should greet the spider, or whatever else made you surprised or scared, with proper manners. In Queensland, Victoria, and New South Wales, using offensive language is a punishable offense. In New South Wales, rules are a bit milder, so swearing is forbidden where kids can hear it, like next to a school or some other public place. Also, if you prove you had a legit reason for swearing, you might be forgiven. In Queensland and Victoria, however, you might end up in jail for 6 months if caught red-handed, or dirty-mouthed in this case. We're halfway through the list, and it will only get crazier, we promise. Make sure to watch it till the end to find out where not to kiss your loved one. And what can happen to you if you make a royal joke in Thailand. Number 8. Jogging. Jogging is healthy, affordable, enjoyable, and illegal somewhere in the world. Jogging in groups was banned in the East African country of Burundi based on the argument that people used the activity as an excuse to organize uprisings and a cover to plan subversive activities. You can jog alone, but 2 people constitute a group. Some people go to prison for that. Number 7. Borrowing someone's Wi-Fi. In Singapore, it is illegal to take advantage of someone else's kindness to check in on Facebook and let the world know you are feeling excited there. There is a whole Computer Misuse and Cybersecurity Act regulating things like that. If you try piggybacking and taking your neighbor's Wi-Fi free from passwords, you might have to pay a $10,000 fine or spend up to 3 years in jail. A local teenager who was among the first to experience the power of this law was sentenced to 80 hours of community service and 18 months probation, during which he was not allowed to use the internet. There is more than one Starbucks in Singapore, and there's free Wi-Fi there. You know what to do now. Number 6. Living together before marriage. It takes a while to get to know someone before you marry them, and living together is a good way to do it, right? Not in the Middle East. The United Arab Emirates has a strict law to prevent people from living together before marriage. If you do so, the police may come to your place and put you in prison. And without a marriage certificate, you can't stay in a hotel room with your partner. Number 5. Celebrating Valentine's Day. Saudi Arabia and Pakistan banned their people from celebrating Valentine's Day because it is not a Muslim tradition, and it focuses on love that isn't directed toward God. Valentine's Day cards, any advertisement, and internet memes are strictly prohibited in these countries and are punished with imprisonment. Rallies against celebrating Valentine's Day were also held in 4 cities in Indonesia. Number 4. Public displays of affection. Kissing in public can get you in trouble if you are in Iran, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Pakistan, or Oman. In these places, it is considered to be a socially unacceptable behavior and is punished with fines and imprisonment. You should also avoid displaying affection in India, Indonesia, and Thailand. Number 3. Eating in public. During the holy month of Ramadan, Muslims are not allowed to eat or drink anything during daylight hours. In the United Arab Emirates, a person who publicly eats or drinks during the day in Ramadan or encourages the act of eating or drinking publicly can face imprisonment or a fine, even if they are not Muslims. Number 2. Insulting the king. Avoid talking disrespectfully about the royal family when you are in Thailand. The king is worshipped there in a way that Westerners can hardly understand. The definition of an insult is not clear, so even dropping or stepping on the money with the king's image on it may send you to prison. Number 1. Drinking alcohol. Alcohol is against the principles of Islam, so before going to any Muslim countries, you should check out the country's laws. In Saudi Arabia, it's banned. Checking a baggage at the airport is very strict so that no one can bring alcohol into the country. It's also impossible to buy it anywhere. If you're caught drinking, you will face long-term imprisonment. There are also severe restrictions on consuming alcohol in Iran, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Libya, Bangladesh, Sudan, Yemen, the Maldives, and some parts of India. Have you been to any countries on this list? Was your behavior there decent? Or maybe you know some other interesting laws and restrictions. Share your experience with us in the comments. Make sure to like this video if it made you smile at least once. Subscribe to our channel. Life is better on the bright side.